Hello, and welcome to this collective reading, where I step aside to bring through information to serve the collective that this is for at this time, on their journey of coming back home to themselves, of remembering their personal power, of the transformative experiences that lead us there, of the alchemical processes that turn the lead into gold. I invite you to take a moment to just drop into space, connecting to your own heart, body, and intuition, so that this reading may be one that is empowering and strengthens your intuition. Discern, feel, and trust the wisdom of your being to know if this reading is for you or not. Release any fear or lack mentalities that may cause you to cling to messages that are not yours. The answers are within you. You are whole, and you are love. Inviting in the guides that want to bring through messages for this collective. When I tuned in before, I immediately heard something outside that sort of sounded like a monster, but it was a car or something else. So I'm getting the sense that right now there might be things happening that are not as they appear. They may seem very frightening. This could be in spiritual realms. This could even be with people around you, though. But right now, you're just being asked to pause and observe and work within in the shadow realms, because things are not as they seem. And the collective right now is dealing with some mental projections that are making things seem frightening when they're not. And as I sat, I also looked up to the sky and the clouds, and I saw a moose very clearly, and then later a deer. And moose are in the deer family. And there's such a loving and nurturing energy to those animal spirit guides. There's also strong leadership and adaptability energies that come with these guides. And moose are very big and powerful and strong, and they have solid boundaries, and they know how to stand in their own. And yeah, so let's start pulling some cards. Let's play with this little deck that I made myself. This one. See, like deceitful, do not trust. This is an energy people are dealing with right now, but it's not what it seems. Illusion. Ancestors are calling, and you hold the key. So now, things like this start to happen as we walk on our spiritual path. This is not an indication of a failure. This is not an indication of not having done your work. This is not an indication of a moral shortcoming. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Your shadow bubbling up to the surface, these projections appearing around you, means that you've done the work to unearth them, to be in a point where you can observe them and work with them. What goes on around us is a reflection of what's going on in our subconscious mind. At least there are certain schools of thought that work that way. I work that way. It's been tremendously helpful on my path. I've used what I see around me, instead of making it about what's happening, I look at it as, what is it pointing to inside of me? What fear is this triggering in me? What old wound is this triggering in me? What is this trying to teach me? Where can I potentially grow? What am I not seeing? And that's like, you can use your external work to help you do this shadow work. And so you have ancestral support right now. This is actually like a beautiful point before a spiritual evolution where you can learn a lot about yourself. And when we start to see these shadow elements for what they are, then we can heal and integrate them, right? Because we are light, we are dark, we are the whole spectrum. And the journey is about expanding, going into the dark and casting light on what is there, making it known and a part of you, and becoming whole, integrated and whole. All right, so from this one, I'm going to have to read from the book. It's The Kali Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Her decks are very beautiful, very powerful, super in-depth. There's like a lot of information in the booklets. So I will read from there, but she's looking at me. She's like, pull here, which makes sense because Kali is the divine mother. She is that darkness, that void, that womb space, and she is all-encompassing. Kali's often depicted as this fierce warrior, but she's also mother. And that fierce warrior aspect of Kali is not something to fear. She comes to shatter illusions. The demons that she's slaying, these are stories in our minds that are manifesting within us. Again, it's not outside of us, but it can present that way. So Kali in her fiercest forms often appears to help us slay these illusions that are holding us in chains. Beautiful. Oh my god. Okay, I don't even have to read from the book. I'm going to, but like, it couldn't be more clear. I was just talking about, we're called to expand. We are light and dark and find that balance. Do you see? Do you see? Dharma of Kali. Coming into your Dharma. Her every action is infused with loving purpose. Every challenge and every opportunity in your life exists by her divine design. Her spiritual intelligence is within your heart. When you trust in your integrity and proceed according to your soul's values, you are trusting and empowering her to be at cause in your life. Everything that is happening is part of how your prayers are being answered. A new order is to be established. You are being led into it. So often, our prayers are answered in ways that we would not expect, and in ways that our egos would never ask for, right? We pray for patience, and God delivers experiences that cause us to have to slow down, to exercise our patience. It can't just be zapped into us to embody aspects that we're not fully ready to embody, right? We have to go through certain experiences to get there. I, for example, as part of my path, had this near-death experience, and it caused a massive illness that I'm on the tail ends of healing, and there will be a full recovery, thank God. But there was a situation, my whole life blew up along that time. It was really a really intense initiation, and it answered everything I'd been asking for: strength, self-love, having boundaries, not being afraid to speak up for myself or express in the world or put myself out there or live my truth. Hell, God, I didn't know what it was going to take to make me that person. And experiences like this, having to deal with projections outside of me, it's just this path of growth really comes in unexpected ways and in interesting ways, and ways that help us shatter the illusion of the ego. And so it's not always comfortable. It's not always pleasant. It's not always fun. And we often don't know exactly what's going on. And we're asked to surrender and to trust in those experiences, right? Spend as much time as you can going within, because you're being brought into this place of balance, of the two polarities coming into union. And that is the sacred medicine of when you can enter into the mode to co-create with the universe, right? When you balance that polarities and you come to the center point. I'm being told to peek in on this one too. She is vibrant red, pulsating with the feminine power of enlightened activity, infusing our hearts with her capacity for sacred sorcery to conjure and create, according to love's guiding wisdom. To receive the divine inheritance of blessings and support for sacred fulfillment, certain karmic conditions that resonate at lower frequency need to be cleared away. The lesson is to release, to receive. Kurukula symbolizes a time of rapid movement of your life and freedom to attract what you need and want. However, you must be willing to let go of negativity and that which does not belong in your world. So yeah, this is healing right now. You are being healed. You are being led into this new chapter of a more whole, integrated, and exalted version of yourself, where you can create this life of your dreams. It's just, these processes are difficult and uncomfortable, and I get it, and I send you love, and I'm here, and I'm holding you in hugs, because it can feel so lonely when you're going through these things, and isolating and terrifying. But I just ask you to trust. I ask you to trust. You're not alone. I've been through these things. There's a collective of people right now who are experiencing this at the same time. And so if you want to, in your meditations, close your heart, just tune into the energy of that collective. Know you're not alone. Know that you're supported. If you feel called, you can try to meditate, work with Kali. She's so wonderful. And your ancestors. All these fell out, but you know what? Honor animal souls. Cultivate creativity. Blooming opportunities. So that takes me back to the moose and the deer that I saw. You have animal guides that want to work with you and lend their energy, and you're being called to connect with that. And get creative in this time, right? This isn't a time to act. This is a time to go within, do this shadow work, integrate. And from that space, you'll be somebody new. And from that space, you can, like a child with excitement, start to explore ways you can get creative about these blooming new opportunities coming, right? Because you are walking the path towards being able to create your abundance. And abundance comes in many forms. It doesn't always have to be money. And honestly, the West is so caught up with that aspect of abundance, and like money is whatever, it comes and goes. When you have that abundance in your soul, when you come home to yourself, like when you manifest just that relationship with spirit, like that's that good shit, okay? Money's great, sure, it helps us do stuff in the material world, but I'm telling you, that is not the magic of this medicine. It's just extra. Yeah. One more. Then I'm going to leave this reading here. Because you're really being called to, like, y'all are powerful. You have the ability and a lot of support and guides to get this from within. So, like, I'm feeling called right now to tell you, like, often when we're in these times of fear, we can really start to look outside of ourselves more and more and more for information, for help. Like, what's going on? Like, am I safe? This, that. You're safe. Pause. Stop looking outside yourself for answers, because that act in and of itself is disempowering, which is why I start my readings the way that I do. I'm trying to help people come back to their power. I don't want anybody dependent on me. I want us all like exalted, awakened, sovereign, and creating, like co-creating this beautiful world together from that place, you know? So, but when we're scared, it's easier to like fall into those patterns. You really have an opportunity right now to cultivate strong intuition, strong personal power. Your inner knowing is ready to burst through there, and that's why all of this stuff is happening around you. Not because something wrong is going on, but it's because you've hit this point. And that's the spiritual journey. It's the spiral. It's wild. This is the pathways to progress. That's funny. They say the same thing, basically. Harmonious weave and balanced living. You're being taken into this place of balance. And the harmonious weave says balance, find balance and coherence as you weave your path with intention, right? Find equilibrium and harmony by balancing life to achieve wholeness. So this is what's happening right now. This is what is going on. And this is just coming through to reassure you, to confirm if you suspect these things are happening, that you've got this. You have got this. This is like really awesome, powerful stuff, powerful medicine. You're at like a beautiful turning point. I know it can be scary, but don't be afraid, because it's just an illusion. Love you.